Alright, so I have just completed my first race weekend. It was a tough one. It was very tough. It's racing's looks very easy. It's not very easy. When I got to the track, I only just passed scrutineering. I had quite a few things on my car that needed to be done, but luckily I just got past. I also had my power steering hose fail. So the hose that goes from the power steering reservoir to the power steering pump had ripped through. It had been rubbing on the strut bar for a very long time, and it finally gave up right as I was about to race it. So the ground was wet, there was water all around, and there was rainbow water about 3 or 4 meters in every direction of my car where there could be. So I was um, very disappointed once again that something like that had happened. Before it was a ute, before it was sponsors pulling out, before any time I try to go racing, something happens that's out of my control, or something that's very little in my control, and I don't have the money or don't have the resources or anything to actually take care of it and go racing. So, luckily, the people in the production race series are very helpful people, especially Francois Cronje, I think, and Trevor Newman. Both of you guys were, if you see this, you've been super helpful. You guys made the weekend work for me. It was a great weekend. So, first race, unfortunately, I didn't get on camera. I missed qualifying because I was trying to fix my power steering. We ended up draining the fluid and cutting the hose and wrapping a towel around it, zip tying it. Just had to make sure a scrutineer didn't see. Yeah, so first race I didn't catch on camera because the GoPro for some reason had drained its own battery throughout the whole day that I was working on it. I just charged it the night before. I don't know what happened really. So second race, I was starting right at the front. It was a reverse grid race and it was a handicap race. So we were let go, and the way it works here in New Zealand is we're let go in groups. So one group is let go of about 5 cars, and you wait 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and it goes in that order. So the fastest cars start about, I don't know, 20-30 seconds behind the slowest cars, which are in the front, which provides for awesome racing. It's because right at the end of the race, everything packs up together, and like faster cars are mixed with slower cars. It's really good. Now, luckily, I started P5 for this race, and I was right at the front. We're actually going to have a look at it now. Unfortunately, once again, something else went wrong that was out of my control. It only got caught in time lapse, so I've slowed it right down, and I've shortened it a bit. It's going to be very choppy, unfortunately no sound. We're going to have a look at it, we're going to commentate it, of course. So yeah, so I just got a couple cars left lining up. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck are these things here? Now, these are Ssangyong Utes. They're quite slow, very noisy for what they are, but they provide some good racing. It's a spec series. Yeah, so here we are, starting off now. These cars are very hard to race, or the Utes are very hard to race. It's like they're quite slow in a straight line, but they've got quite a bit of grip in the corner. They're very heavy, so they get a lot of grip in the corner, and they provide huge slipstream. Like, you'll see how much I close up here compared to other cars. Yeah, so I was getting double draft from this guy here. Now, the guy that I just passed had actually sold me all my race gear, so he's the owner of 24 Red Racing. I had a great race with him in the previous race. I was really struggling to catch up to this ute here. We just keep going. He makes a little bit of a mistake going wide there, but I know that I'm just, with the slipstream that he provides, it just sucks me up in a straight line. It's awesome. So yeah, I don't even try to pass here. I just wait and wait and wait. And for all weekend, I just didn't have a lot of grip coming into right-hand corners, so my left-hand tyre was just gone. I don't know what it was. I had a great battle with this guy here. I went back and forth, and then finally I get to the hairpin here, and I managed to get past him. Now, up ahead, we actually have a Daihatsu Sirion, I believe it is. And those cars are very quick in the corners, not so much in a straight line compared to my one. My one's very slow in a straight... my one's doesn't have a lot of grip here, because the tyres are quite old. I had a very good battle with him here. I wish I actually got this on proper camera, so that I could post this in a separate video. But yeah, it was a very fun battle. We were both very clean. He gave me enough room, I gave him enough room. It was a very good battle. But luckily I was just a little bit quicker in a straight line. Only just managed to get past him just before the end of the race. Yep, there we go. And then come down here into turn 1. Yeah. And he managed to, that braking zone, he was always on it. I couldn't stop him. So yeah, it was an awesome race with this guy here. I had his name somewhere, but I can't remember it anymore. And then once again, in a straight line, I just managed to push past him a little bit. He's still quicker in the corners, there's no doubt. But yeah. So then after I got past him, it was pretty boring. So I've cut to the last lap, and I only just managed to win this by half a second. You see that red car there? That's one of the faster ones. So that's one of the cars that started right at the back of the grid, and he only just caught me at the end, but I did end up winning the race by half a second, which is best feeling ever. You can't. I won a race on my first weekend ever. It's amazing. So then, now we're on to the race that I actually recorded. And unfortunately, my GoPro died halfway through it, but I know that's alright. Well, halfway, it's probably towards the end. This one was really a big struggle because I didn't feel like I had the grip in there. I didn't feel like I had a lot to give for this race. I had zero grip. My brake pedal ended up going to the floor because the brake fluid had overheated. I was sort of just getting pushed around a bit because I was very scared of damaging my car. I still have to drive it home. Even without the power steering. Yeah, so it was a tough one, but I was just sort of getting pushed around here you'll see a ute come out on the outside here. Yeah, it was very hard, this one. I just didn't feel like I had any pace, and that's probably because I didn't. There was no grip on the right hand corners. Like, my wheel was slipping like crazy. I did have a few good battles in this one. This one's going to be a lot longer than the last one because it's twice as many laps, and it's also a lot slower. Yeah, so here's another Daihatsu Sirion. I am faster than these cars in a straight line, but again, the grip in the corners is just not there. These tyres are really old, especially just after being through two sort of long races. They've been worn down. I need new tyres for the car. As you can see, there's like much faster cars coming through the field here. That Honda was quick as. I just didn't have the car to do that. Something I found very hard was actually racing next to the SsangYong Utes because they're very loud, and I couldn't even hear my own car, so I'd have to look down to my rev counter just really quick to see if it was time to shift or not. I did have a few problems with my shifting here. I think previously I did it quite well, but here I was trying to experiment with a few things, and I did a few things wrong that I could have done better and maybe could have got me an extra position at the end of the race. But yeah, I was just being super conservative on the brakes as well, because again, I still have to drive the thing home. I didn't know that the brake fluid was going to overheat, so luckily I was quite conservative on them. Yeah, so now we're just another car. I'm doing that shoulder check there. This was quite a scary moment here because I had two cars come on me either side, sort of got sandwiched, and I got scared that I was going to get absolutely smashed there. So I just backed off a bit and let the others go and just waited for things to clear up a bit. The thing with this handicap race was the faster cars will let go a little bit sooner, so it was quite messy, honestly. There's a lot of faster cars mixed with slower cars, and it was insane how different it was compared to what I'm used to, like all the cars starting at once. And here you'll see this this Daihatsu is, yeah, I just don't have the pace or don't have the grip to keep up with them. In a straight line, perfectly fine. I still have an extra half a litre of engine capacity more than them. In the corners, I have no chance, even though they're also on a control tyre. And there's my guy that sold me my race gear that I just passed. I did sort of have a look here, but I don't think I actually went for it because I know these cars are much better, or in terms of the corners, much better than mine. I did make a mistake there, shifted down to second, didn't stay in third, which is really unnecessary, lost me quite a bit of time coming down here. I reckon it was a couple tenths at least. And then I think I have one car, another Daihatsu. It's quite a cool series. I wish I had my own Daihatsu now. Yeah, and then here we go with another Ute driver. Bit of smoke up ahead, I was kind of worried about it, but I saw no one else was slowing down, so I was very scared he was going to hit me there. He got quite close. No one else was slowing down. Luckily I managed to gain a bit of time there, because it seems like the Daihatsu there that's next to me now misshifted and just had to slow the Ute up. And then I just give him enough room, but also make sure I squeeze him a little bit. I am again faster in a straight line, so I did manage to get past him in the end. Got the Miata coming past us here, also much faster car than anything I could have even dreamt of for my car. Another Pulsar there, generation newer than mine. He actually came up and talked to me in the grid in the paddock. He was a very nice guy. He also had the number 14 just like I did, which is kind of ironic. And then here we come up with another Ute. There's just so many fast cars in this class, it's insane. And it's all one class A. It's just 0cc to 2000cc. It's crazy how different the pace is between us. And this guy here got a bit of oversteer. I think I only got oversteer once in that corner there. And as you can see, even the Ute managed to grab around the outside from me there, because I just have no grip in the right corners. Need some new tyres for the next weekend that I can do. So another really fast 11 there. Some of these cars are just insane how quick they were, but it was really fun just seeing what you can do with cars, like how you can make them faster with not so much. And you need to remember here, I just don't have any power steering at all. It was very hard to go from a car that had power steering like a couple of hours ago to a car that didn't. Yeah. Made a nice overtake there on the Syrian, and there's the Copen there again. He is a little bit, I believe he's a bit faster than the Syrians, but yeah, I don't know. So then we have this blue car up on the inside here. He's actually the guy that helped me sort out my power steering issue. We cut open that the power steering hose, drained the fluid by turning the engine on, and then just let it run. Of course it would have wrecked the pump, so I'm going to have to replace that as well as the hose, but hopefully, I can get it sorted in time for, I don't know, when I can afford it really, is the main thing. I can't afford to fix it right now. Another Nissan right there. This guy was super quick, eh? I just had no chance of catching these guys. They just had so much grip in the corners. I think their cars are also quite stiff. This is a 2K Cup car that I'm driving at the moment. So it was built to 2K Cup specs. It's not really meant for engine performance or any sort of performance, let's put it that way, mainly just safety things. So the car itself is quite slow. It's also quite loose. It's not a very stiff car. Even the Mini, my car, feels stiffer than this one here, so yeah. Yeah, and now this Celica, actually, I managed to keep up with him for a bit. It wasn't too long, because, again, we've got a bit of a slow car here. But yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. Finally get to take the right line through the Porsche dipper. I don't think I've done that really for many laps at all during this race, or even all weekend. Now, yeah, just keep checking the mirrors, just keep checking and looking if there's something coming, because there's so many fast cars, you don't know when they're going to creep up on you. And once again, you'll see here, all the cars just pull away from me in this one corner here. I just have no grip on my left tyre. And now, I think it becomes quite lonely here, just because there's, no cars. Hopefully next round I can actually sort out all the recording and just make it one smooth video. Now this sheet here, I think it ended up having a few problems later on in the race, just because I managed to pass him on a straight, even though he'd pulled away like crazy, or he just, I think he had a few issues. And then there's the Syrian in front of him, which I actually battled for the lead for in race 1. Oh, is that a... Yeah, sorry if there's a bit of background noise. There's a lot going on outside. Yeah, coming through here, the car just felt understeering, of course. Then I finally managed to hit an apex there. Come all the way out to the left here, get to the right, and brake hard just over the crest. I think I can brake a lot later in this car. Nice apex there, and then just accelerate. Yeah, I could brake later everywhere in this car, but I just didn't want to have any sort of incident for the weekend. Things had already gone wrong, so I wanted stuff to go very smoothly for the rest of the weekend, or the rest of the day. It was just one day. We had qualifying, 1 race, 2 race, 3 race. I missed qualifying obviously because of my power steering issue, but then yeah, the other 3 races were quite nice. Now, these two still fighting up here. I think the Daihatsu ends up sending it down the inside here. Yes, yeah, this is the lap. Sends it up the inside. Those Daihatsus are crazy good on the brakes compared to what I had. And here's another one that comes around the outside of me here. I just had no grip coming through right-hand corners. Left-hand corners weren't as bad, but right-hand corners were... I just had no chance. Yeah, so then it gets not messy, but quite clogged up ahead. I'm just sort of waiting for an opportunity to see where I can get in that fight, if I can in the first place, because again, no grip's quite hard to race with. Yeah, coming up the hill here, 2 Daihatsu Syrians in front of me. It's a good sight to see. So the Daihatsus are actually a series, so it's almost like a spec series. They're just with a few very similar cars. So the Syrians, the Copans, and then there's the other ones that I don't actually know. I don't know what the name is, but they look like mouses or mice. Yeah, so getting a bit closer here to the Daihatsus, but as you see here, I'll have no chance against them coming through here. Look at that. Look at the red one just going down the outside there. I have no chance of doing anything there. Luckily, there's a straight now, so I can probably catch up to one of them at least. Just make sure I get that draft. They don't give off a lot of draft because they're very narrow cars, and so you've still got the outside of the car, which is undrafted, I guess you could say. And then, yeah, just keeping it on the brakes there. I knew he was going to send it there, but it was good. It was good fun. And then I have a look to the inside, knowing that I can brake later, but it was still no chance in the right hand corners. These cars go 3-wheeling through here, as you'll see now. They're just 3 wheels. These things are so cool. I really want to drive one day. Now the reason I didn't go for a dive here is because it's actually yellow flag. There is the CRX that passed me before is just on the side there as I'm coming up the hill. So I'm not entirely sure what the rules are for, well, I thought that you're not allowed to pass under yellow flags, but I saw other people doing it, and I just wanted to save my butt and not do anything stupid. And then that's the only misshift I had on that weekend. The only one I had, and it was right there, which is good. But essentially what I did is I nearly money shifted it. I realised it didn't feel right, so I went to shift back into second, but obviously I was already at the top of second, so then I went and shifted into third. And then here we have a straight again, so it's my time to catch up to the Syrian ahead of me. Yeah, Hampton Downs is a great track. It's the elevation is really nice. It's not a really flat track like most other tracks. And I don't know what happened here. I think it just went a little bit wide, a little bit too wide, but he could have also gotten a great exit. I just think he should have been closer to the inside of the corner. And now I was starting to get a little bit more confident on the brakes. And I think so is he. just a bit too confident with how wide he went there. So I was trying to see if I could get a switchback here. Again, he's 3-wheeling through that corner, which is crazy. And I have another look, but the yellow flag is still there, so I back out of it, knowing that I'm sure I can pass him at some stage. little Starlet GTI coming through here. I think it's Starlet GTI anyway. No match for me. No more. I'm no match for him, let's put it that way. Yeah. And he actually compromises the exit of the Daihatsu here, so I actually get a nice exit on the Daihatsu. And no mischief this time. Yeah. And just have a little look in the rear to see what's coming. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do on the straight. I'm just going to wait for the Daihatsu. I actually tried taking the same line as him here because I noticed I was double apexing the last corner, this one here, but he was going straight. He was like taking a single apex, and there's no grip for me out there, so I just decided to keep double apexing it after this. I think another Honda comes through here at some stage. No, yes, no, never mind, wrong lap. And here's where I finally get the move done. We brake at the same time. I just have the inside line. I think he just goes a bit too wide and gets on the marbles there a little bit. And I managed to get all the way back out to the outside of the track again. There's the other Pulsar, the number 14. And yeah, I thought not much to the rest of this race really. I just managed to get past the Daihatsu, and then this Ssangyong Ute here had a bit of a problem. I don't know what it was. I did go a bit deep there, unfortunately. Oh, that's to let the Honda pass. Yeah, I don't know what the issue was with it, but it did. I think it did slow me down here. Yeah, just a little bit. It's all good though. I was just a bit worried that the Daihatsu Syrian would come and get me again, but no, it was all good. And another Honda, same one as before, or a similar spec anyway, just come past me there. And now, right after this corner here is where my GoPro died, but there wasn't much left to the race aside from my brake pedal going through the floor, and then me having to pump it for the rest of the race. But yeah, overall, first race was nice, second race was nice, third race was a bit of a more like enduring. I was sort of thinking I kind of want this to be over relatively soon, just because I wasn't really enjoying myself as much as I did in the first two races. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Now, yeah, I don't really have any money to do another one. I need to fix the Pulsar, I need to get some new brake fluid, I need to get some tyres, and obviously fix the power steering so it doesn't absolutely neck itself in the next race. So yeah, that's my first race weekend. I learnt quite a lot. I still need to work on my driving technique quite a bit. I need to start driving some more front wheel drive cars in the Sims so I know how to actually drive them properly. Other than that, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope to catch you in another race weekend at some point.